All right, 7 minutes to the top of the hour. My goodness, what a show. It is getting hot in here. Senator Ledama Olekina is spewing fire and venom.
I'm frustrated.
Cleophas Malala.
You know what, let me tell you, like I said on the break, if this boy writes a script.
He said no boy.
No, he agreed to.
No boy.
I'm a boy.
Yeah. You're a boy?
I'm a boy.
If he writes a script, my friend, because he's trivializing everything is drama. If he writes a script, Jeff, he will win an Academy Award.
Okay.
You know, so let me try to make some sense into what is happening and what people seems to be forgetting. This is not about Raila Amolo Odinga. It has never been about Raila Amolo Odinga. If Raila Odinga is not there, Kenyans will still fight for their rights. It is about the pain that Kenyans are going through. It is about people who are completely misguided, who do not understand policies, who do not understand how governments work.
And you do?
It is about, let me put it this way.
Your side understands?
Everything they say, you know, let me tell you. You see, if you speak venom, you should be hit by venom. When you hear Gachagua saying that this government is only for shareholders, we have 47 million Kenyans. The taxpayers are not only the shareholders. Today, you've seen across the country. And let me be very honest and give them this free advice. You know, we are students of history. We've seen the French Revolution. We've seen the Russian Revolution. We've seen the Chinese Revolution. Kenyans, we've seen the Sudan Revolution right here.
That is not a revolution.
It is a revolution.
That is a civil war.
Call it the way you want to call it, but it all has the same end results.
But what has happened? You want Kenya to go that way?
Jeff, Kenya is going that way, Jeff. It's not about Ledama wanting. Ledama want peace. Ledama believe that this is an amazing country, that if young Kenyans are given an opportunity, they will be able to thrive.
Yeah, but listen, you do not want Kenya to go down.
We don't want it. No. And that is why I said, and I have to repeat this again, and this, one of my very good friends repeated this to me and said, dude, you guys, all of you, must climb out of your ivory tower and meet. But how do you climb out of your ivory tower to the ground, and yet you cannot even empathize or sympathize with the people on the ground?
Okay, let the Secretary General respond. Go.
Seriously.
I want to ask my brother here. Let us appreciate the little gains the president has done since he came into power. One, the president has tried as much as possible to ensure that we reduce the deficit in the budget.
How?
We found the previous budget, and it must be appreciated that this is the first budget the president is going to implement. We must appreciate that the president has not even started implementing the new tax regime. The previous tax regime and the previous budget that was being implemented was done by the Handshake brothers, truth be told, until last week, when the last 2 weeks when we passed the budget and we passed the finance bill. And therefore, we must also agree that you've seen the president committed to ensure that he reduces the budget deficit. Second, he is committed to ensure that he reduces the borrowing from outside. He has tried as much as possible not to borrow, to pay salaries. You saw the other day, in March, the government by 25th was unable to collect taxes to pay salaries. But the president said he will not go out of this country to borrow to pay salaries. He was given only 5 days. He collected taxes. You've seen the president trying to ensure that he blocks all the leakages of revenue leakage. He has tried by centralizing all the government services through a digital platform. As we speak right now, in a record of 6 months, the president has been able to digitize 5,000 government services. All those services will be paid in one channel. These will reduce leakages. And we want to assure Kenyans that if President William Ruto is given ample time, he will ensure that the revenue that he is collecting is able to pay and reduce our public debt, is able to do infrastructural development, as he promised the people of Kenya.
Jeff, hold on. Listen, no. Allow me to respond to that.
Oh, wait. Is that what you discussed in the cabinet?
Wait, allow me to respond to that, Jeff.
And are you there illegally?
Jeff.
Let me ask him this question.
Jeff.
They call you strangers in cabinet, all four of you.
You might want to call us whatever names you want to refer to us. But the real situation and the real fact as to why we are in the cabinet, we are there to advise the president on matters, and specifically me. I'm there to advise the president and to ensure that we remind the president on matters that he promised Kenyans.
It's not in the Constitution.
Many years.
It's not in the Constitution.
Jeff, let me rebut. No, he's been.
No, you see.
Let him answer. He's the one in the cabinet, not you.
No, I don't want to be in his cabinet.
Let him answer that.
Because it's illegal.
Yeah, it is not illegal. It is not illegal. The Constitution is very clear that the cabinet shall be constituted with 23 cabinet secretaries.
That's right.
That's right?
Yes.
President William Ruto has not added any cabinet portfolio in the current cabinet.
So what are you doing there?
Just a moment.
So what are you doing
Just a moment. In cabinet, we must have a support system for the president to make decisions. We must have people, technical people, to help the president make decisions. Look at the USA cabinet.
First of all,
Don't compare yourself with that.
First of all,
one more question before I go to you. One more question.
And therefore, it must be very clear that the president has not introduced a single ministry. We are not 24 ministries. We are still at the ceiling of 23 ministries. And therefore, I am not there as a cabinet secretary. I am there as a technical team to help the president, to remind him on the manifesto that he promised people.
Jeff, so why do you drive a car with a flag? Hold on.
Let me
why do you
respond
drive
to
a
him.
car with a flag?
No, you see, Jeff. A flag.
I don't want to forget what he's talking about. Just allow me to respond, Jeff. You know why?
Driving a car with a flag.
Forget about that's actually not even relevant. What is relevant is what he's talking about, Jeff. He's talking about that what he told Kenyans is that this is going to be the first Ruto budget. Let me tell Kenyans, the problem that we have in this country in the budget-making process. During the initial budget-making process, there's something called public participation. But the biggest problem we have in this country is where we mutilate that budget with senseless, supplementary budgets. By the time the financial year ends, it is not the original budget. So he cannot come here and lie to Kenyans and say that Ruto is not implementing his budget. That's number one.
But you're a legislator yourself.
My friend, you need to understand, and maybe let me educate both of you today, in terms of the budget-making process.
So you're a teacher, because teachers are the ones who
does not play a role in budget-making process.
I'm not saying Senate,
that
but
is the reason why. As a legislator myself, I do not play a role in the budget-making process. What happens is this. The National Assembly, they go around collecting
the Constitution,
and they don't even put them into consideration.
And you have your Kenya Kwanza colleagues who don't show up at voting time. Who do you blame?
We are not Kenya Kwanza. I'm not Kenya Kwanza. I don't want to be Kenya Kwanza. Jeff, listen.
Azimio.
I'll tell you this. Ruto has mutilated.
President Ruto.
Ruto has mutilated.
Let her have some respect.
The Honorable Ruto has mutilated the Constitution. He's mutilated the budget from the get-go. He has borrowed more money than Uhuru has ever borrowed. If we want to speak facts, this guy cannot come here and tell us, oh, this is the first budget that Ruto is going to be implementing. Yet at the same time, he is now interfering with the legislative process because he has reduced, he has forced. He has reduced.
You have yourselves to blame.
We don't have ourselves to blame.
Azimio has themselves to blame.
How?
Because your members, when it comes to voting time, they disappear.
How?
Some are given soup.
Jeff,
yeah.
They're not there.
And soup in the toilet.
You're trying to blame Kenya.
I'm just saying, if you want to make
if you sit down one day, I love reading your book.
I appreciate that.
One day I love reading your book.
Jeff.
You are going to love reading my book.
Oh.
In Parliament, black is not black and white is not white. The shit that happens in Parliament is horrendous. It is something that should make you worried. When you read my book, you will think you're reading a horror by Stephen King and what happens. Okay?
Okay.
So
I can't wait. When is that book coming out? When is it coming out?
Very soon. I'm still working on it. Very soon, Jeff.
And remember,
the truth of the matter is this. What is happening in Kenya right now? These guys have got no clue. Because they are living, they are riding on high horses.
They're the majority.
We don't know.
They're the majority.
But it doesn't always say that.
They're in charge.
Okay.
They will have their way, but we'll have our say.
Okay.
Seriously.
That's said and done. I'm also
but you
eager.
allow me
I'm
to
also
finish
eager.
because
Hold
you
on,
didn't
no,
allow
no,
me to finish.
It's his turn.
You didn't allow me to
You
finish.
interrupted him.
Jeff, I never interrupted him.
SG, it's your
How much
turn.
time does he have to speak?
It's your turn.
Jeff, I'm also eager to read Olekina's book.
Trust me, it's not going to be a drama script like
I'm
yours.
very eager to
It's
read
not going to be a
Olekina's
drama
book,
script.
and I hope.
And there's
He
a
will
chapter that focuses on Malala. Trust me.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying.
I went over to his crib in Kitengela to rescue him. And the drama there, you will love it.
You rescued him?
Yes, we went to
and
rescue him.
And I appreciate that. Huh?
You better appreciate.
I appreciate that. You're a good person, Olekina. I'm just eager to read that book.
Yes.
To read all the intricacies that surround Olekina. But I hope he will be able to acknowledge and empathize with the families that have lost their lives during his leadership. I hope so.
Oh,
that's said and done. That's said and done, Jeff. The budget that Olekina is talking about has got a wonderful idea in the name of feeding program in schools. President William Ruto is keen to ensure that our children are given lunch in public schools. President William Ruto is partnering with our counties, putting a shilling against
clawing back on devolution, right?
No.
That's not partnering.
No.
You're clawing back on devolution.
Intergovernmental acts.
But I saw Governor Sakaja doing
Listen,
that.
Yes, and you see, the end, you cannot be
Governor
opposite.
Sakaja had to fight.
Let's
call a spade a spade.
Allow me to execute. Stop shouting. Calm down. Allow me to execute my case. And then you can have your time.
If I was not calm, it would have been different.
Just relax.
All right, gentlemen,
Just relax.
let's go to the wall.
Just relax.
Let's go to the magic wall. Let's go to the magic wall. You guys
Jeff.
are out of control today.
Oh.
Let's read some tweets. Let's get some sanity here. Moshiri653 says, finally, something to finish the tough day. Could Senator Olekina explain what Azimio could have done different to finance their budget when not increasing tax and not increasing the rate of borrowing?
Lower the taxes, increase, allow more people to be able to do business.
How?
You will collect.
How are you going to lower taxes?
There are two ways.
Yeah.
There are two ways of raising taxes. Okay, one, you either increase the taxes. When you increase the taxes, only a few can be able to do business. You focus on the revenue. The other one is you lower the taxes, you increase the economy. Once you increase the economic players, more people are able to pay taxes. You have to lower taxes to be able to raise more taxes.
So increase the base.
You have to increase the base. But the moment you now tell a Mamamboga who is earning 1,300 shillings that she'll start paying taxes, a turnover of 3% of that, and on gross, that's not even her profit.
By the way, I had a Mama Mbogo on the show a couple of weeks ago. She only makes 600 a day.
Yeah.
She makes
and she doesn't pay the housing.
No. Listen,
that
Mboga, you've increased the cost
factual.
of fuel. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's not lie to Kenyans. Kenyans are not fools. You increase the cost of fuel. When you increase the cost of fuel, first of all, right now, it's illegal because EPRA is committing an illegality.
Correct.
Because the other arm of government has suspended the implementation of that tax. And are they going to refund Kenyans? I'll tell Kenyans, save your receipts. Because, power is transient. These guys are here, they will go. And one day, I will be so happy to see a class action lawsuit filed against EPRA for them to refund Kenyans the money that they collected illegally.
For 2 weeks now. Okay, next tweet. Boniface says the two senators, Ledama Olekina and Cleophas Malala, agree on one important thing, dialogue. They need to initiate that. However, my question is to Cleophas Malala, how much is the domestic debt and external debt? How much has the government paid through taxpayers' money?
First of all, I want to respond to Olekina's allegation.
We're going back.
On issues of taxes first. you can decide to lower taxes. You said very well, you can decide to lower taxes or increase taxes. You see, it is our administration. We have decided to ensure that we have economic stimulus projects whereby we can we stimulate the economy so that so many people and money supply is enhanced. Just wait.
Getting it, my brother.
Wait. Once money supply is there, so many people will have an opportunity to have money supply, and it will ensure that the tax base is expanded, and we have more Kenyans paying taxes. And therefore, it is bad for us to tell Kenyans that we are charging Mama Mbogas 3%. We are not charging Mama Mbogas. It's not a fact.
You only spoke to one Mama Mboga, but there are almost about maybe 10 million Mama Mbogas.
At what point
and they all raise money based on their ability to borrow. At
what point does Mama Mboga pay the 3%?
At 1,300 shillings, do the math. And he didn't understand what I said. The problem is this, economically. In fact, during this time, what the government should be doing is spending more money, pumping more money into the economy to assist people recover. What we are going through right now is similar to what we went through during COVID. And I really hope that my brother would take some time and speak to Ndi, who is his colleague. In fact, if you follow Ndi very well and listen to what Ndi is saying, he told them, you guys, it will end up in tears. Because the reality, what is happening right now on the ground, these guys are not in touch with the ground. You know? And Jeff, let me finalize by saying this. You know, we were told that we are being given, the government is giving us, a subsidized fertilizer. They lied to us. We were given those fertilizers for free by the Russians.
There are some regions
as at 2022, the domestic debt was at around 4.5 trillion Kenya shillings.
That's a lie.
Yeah, it's 4.5.
No.
Domestic debt at about 4.5 trillion Kenya shillings. And we need to agree that the cause of all this domestic borrowing was that so that a certain person in power then can benefit his bank. And you know very well. We used to borrow even when we were not supposed to borrow.
But now the debt ceiling, the other day, crossed 10 trillion, you know that?
Yeah, it's crossed. And you remember...
That's actually
ceiling.
Yeah, and you remember...
You remember what the Auditor General said? She said that she doesn't even have a statement to tell Kenyans how much Kenya owes. So we might even owe more. And we've owed more since Ruto took over State House.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't. That's not a fact.
Magua says, it's high time Cleophas Malala accepts that Raila Odinga is not the enemy, but the people. Some places which were never heard, like Imali, Kitengela, Makueni, Eldoret, and Meru, came out to demonstrate. It's high time Ruto goes back to the drawing board.
We are here to listen to Kenyans. We do not rule foreigners. We rule Kenyans, and we accept. We are ready to engage Kenyans on issues of rebuilding our country. We have not refused. William Ruto has not chased away anybody. William Ruto has provided a platform for the opposition to even come on board and give their ideas. We have still the bipartisan talks. The bipartisan committee is still alive. They can still come back. Second,
I used to sit
William
in that
Ruto,
bipartisan committee.
Yes, a moment.
And there was nothing. Seriously,
nothing
you cannot, let's not trivialize this.
William Ruto,
you don't want me to discuss about what was happening then.
Just a moment. We have seen Kenyans going for litigation in court. We've seen Kenyans stopping even government from performing its executive duties. William Ruto has decided to abide by the rule of law. That is a show of commitment that this is a leader who listens.
There's nothing like
and
that.
Therefore we are asking, and we are committing, and I'm speaking as the Secretary General of the ruling party. We are committed to engage our brothers from the Azimio side. Come,
Jeff,
let us talk.
That, please? Can you read that, please? That would probably make more sense.
Michael says, Senator Ledama, is destroying property and looting of properties peaceful demonstrations?
It is not. What it is that Kenyans are very peaceful until they are provoked by goons who are sent by UDA, as well as the police.
And you don't have your own goons.
Okay? We don't want our goons. I mean, of course, if we wanted to get goons, we could get goons. But this is not about getting goons. This is about people demonstrating and calling a spade a spade. The problem we have,
Kenyans are tired.
The problem we have is, I'm so happy that
Kenyans are tired.
And this is a lose-lose.
Kenyans are tired with this demonstration. a menace. Because you remember, even the other day during Sabasaba, the former Laikipia governor, it was the public, the citizens who were telling the police, come on, arrest this man. Today, Governor Oparanya was chased away from Busia.
No, that's not true.
Perceived as Azimio stronghold. He was chased away
Let's
and
be
told.
honest. That is a battle between
and therefore we must
Oparanya
appreciate
and
we must appreciate that one.
That's a domestic issue.
Jeff, we must appreciate the fact that let us put all these supremacy battles aside. Olekina, come, let us engage. Come, let us talk. For the sake of the Maasais in Narok, for the sake of Tesos in Busia, for the sake of Luyas in Bungoma, this is our country, my brother. Come,
Jeff,
let us talk.
Jeff, please allow me to say this. If Jeff asked me to come and sit down with him and reason, we will probably share a cigar and we'll reason by the end of the cigar. You guys are conniving.
So what you're saying, you never sit down.
So you don't want to sit with them?
So you never sit down. You continue demonstrating.
With them, Jeff. So you're asking me to do something which I've done with them.
So
they could not even. Let me tell you, we didn't walk away. Can I be honest with you, Jeff? Let me tell you, moving this phone from here to here, they had to call Ichungwa. Okay? For them to tell them, no, don't move that phone.
But he's the leader of majority.
No. That's the problem. For us,
and the talks were bipartisan.
We sat down with our appointing authority. We were appointed by the PG, and the head of the PG is Raila Amolo Odinga. We used to go there and tell him, we have reasoned with these fellows, we've allowed them what they are asking for, we've also demanded the following. But now, for them, let me tell you, it was so frustrating to a point where one of my colleagues, which I really don't even want to mention her name, when we were talking about opening the server, she says, we don't know where the key to the server is. Come on, you don't trivialize matters like that.
Okay, stand by. One more tweet. Wisdom 2022 says, destroying infrastructure is not a solution to reduce high cost of living. It is a sign of primitiveness.
It is not a sign of primitiveness.
It is.
It is a sign of frustrations.
So you are accepting
those
that?
Kenyans, I'm not accepting. Those Kenyans who are out there, I really do not condone that, Jeff. I'll be honest with you. I do not condone that.
You do. You do.
Are frustrated.
You know, Jeff.
Of course, we're frustrated.
Jeff,
it is so sad out there.
But the solution is not violence.
The solution is for us, and I want to repeat this again, to come down from the ivory tower and to the ground.
Keep talking about.
Jeff.
Okay. Yes.
Jeff. You know, we are role models as leaders. The first person to exercise violence.
Listen to yourself when you're in
exercise violence in this country at a point when IEBC was announcing the results for the president and declaring President William Ruto to be president was Ledama.
He was
the person propagating violence.
No,
he was participating. And that is why he's used to working with weapons. He has even come to the show with a weapon.
This is a leadership tool. This is a leadership tool.
It looks very menacing.
Okay? No.
Menacing.
This is amazing. You know what? It provides wisdom, brother.
So give it to Malala.
These are weapons.
He can't even be able to carry these.
These are weapons.
Almost 7:08 says no amount of looting and vandalism can justify taking life of an unarmed citizen. Can't we all look at the prospect of life? When did life become so useless to Azimio and UDA leaders?
Okay, the truth of the matter is this. Promise after promise after promise. We would be having a decent conversation here if these dudes would have been saying, oh, we did this, we said we did this, we lowered the cost of living, we did all these things.
Let's conclude,
but the problem
gentlemen.
is this.
The time, we have to go home.
The problem.
And let's conclude on a positive note. Positive note. Because the country is teetering. We're on the edge.
I still believe.
Kenyans are tired.
Yeah, you go first.
I still believe there is hope. I still believe if our brothers just came down, relaxed, engaged the president in a mature talk, in a structured way, the president is a listening president. I want to implore upon the Azimio people to retreat and think. Because our country, we are losing tourists who are supposed to come and witness the wild beast migration in Narok. We are losing them. We are scaring them away, Jeff. And therefore, I would want to beseech upon my brother, kindly, go tell your leader that my leader is committed to have a talk, a structured talk on how we can improve this.
How about a handshake?
Handshake. You can shake my hand. No, the handshake is there.
Between the president and former prime minister?
No problem. They have done that before in sporting activities, in Nyayo Stadium, in funerals, just shaking hands.
Nusu mkate?
Nusu mkate is not in our constitution.
Jeff.
Let us implement our constitution in a manner in which the drafters of the constitution envisaged. Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa were among the drafters of the constitution because of what they had experienced in the Nyayo era. And therefore, they are the same people who want to perforate the same constitution they drafted. I would like to beseech them. Let them follow the rule of law. Our president has committed to follow the rule of law. That is why he's abiding by every court order.
No, he's not.
All right.
Because, Jeff, let me end by saying this. Yeah. Kenyans are frustrated. You know, they're pissed off. And what is really making them tired is a dysfunctional government. Because if this government was functional, Jeff, this government would have been able to demystify the difference between what is a public good, what is a private good, and what is a merit good. And I will try in 30 seconds to demystify that. A private good is housing. You never interfere with it. Allow people to live the way they want.
Bring those ideas on the table so that we can implement them, because you do not have the
public good,
but he does not have the instruments of implementing these good ideas.
If today, instead of going around the country, forcing people, telling people that you're going to take 1.5% of their salary,
then come out of the streets, give us those ideas.
Build an electric train
that goes
all the way to Narok. Let people live in Narok, work in Nairobi. Let people live in Kakamega, work in Nairobi. Improve on the public goods.
And then you come vandalize
the issue of merit goods. Our healthcare is dilapidated.
Bring these ideas. These ideas can never be implemented.
You can just shut up and listen.
In the streets.
I will be able to finish.
But the truth is,
I listen to him. That's why he's not cantankerous.
Yeah, but what you're saying, I just want, it's just an intervention.
He can never allow sense to prevail. And this is what I'm saying. I want a country that can be able to understand what is a public good, what is a private good, and what is a merit good. A merit good, right now, we want good healthcare. If we had good healthcare,
then you can't do it in Mandamano, my brother.
If we had good schools, we'd be able to proceed and build this economy. Today, Jeff, I saw a little toddler with a stone, and he was being asked, where are you going? He's saying Mandamano. If that little toddler, who is barely 3 years old, can say Mama Mandamano, what do you think we're teaching our country, or our youth? I am sick and tired of a dysfunctional system. I want us to practice what we preach. These dudes don't practice what they preach. If they say they respect the rule of law, the first thing that Ruto should have done is to tell EPRA, do not break the law. And you see, I always say this, and allow me to end with this. I always say this, the law is an ass. The law was not made to be able to please everybody, And the framers of this constitution were wise to be able to set up separation of powers. We have the power of the purse, okay? The president has the power of the sword. The judiciary has got the power of the judgment. They are the ones who have got to, if they have said, suspend this, let not any single arm of the executive come in and violate. What is happening in this country? If we do not sit today and correct it, everyone will suffer. The people who are suffering right now are not Azimio people. Everyone. It doesn't matter which side of the divide you voted for, you are suffering right now.
Okay.
Then stop the violence.
Let's face one thing. No, you're done. Let's face one thing.
And to end, unless we are able to understand what is going out there and feel the pain, if we come out of our $100,000 cars, if we come out of our $1 million houses, and we go and feel the pain of the mamamboga, the pain of the boda operator, when we feel that part, that's the only time we can be able to reason.
I agree. I totally agree, Jeff.
Don't forget.
No,
there is
Jeff.
a president in office. He was elected.
Yes.
So if you want to make change, you wait another 4 years.
No, we don't have to. No, Jeff, I want to correct you on that.
You lost.
No, you're trivializing the matter. No, we never.
You lost.
Give me a break. We never lost.
You're going to hit me with that now?
No, here, nigga, please. I won't do that.
Jeff.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth.
You
the
lost.
Truth of the matter
you
is
took
this.
It to the high.
It doesn't
Supreme
matter.
Court.
The Supreme Court, the same. Don't bring me.
And they called it a lot of hot air.
The same Supreme Court, the same judiciary that these guys are now calling it.
And why are you the minority in Parliament?
Gangsters.
All right, gentlemen, we'll have to continue this.
Because it's all about money. money
Let's
in
go.
this country.
No, we got to go.
All about.
I have
Jeff.
All right, let's go.
to close this. Yeah,
All right,
Jeff.
close it.
Jeff,
Shall we go?
Jeff,
No, I'm not listening.
Don't listen, man.
Goodness. Oh, yeah, I need this. Yeah, why did I? All right, good night. We'll see you next week.
Just go get a smoke.